It is just before dawn in Frederick, Colorado, on August 13th, 2018. The street lamps cast a muted glow on identical driveways and trimmed lawns, the kind of setting that looks safe on every real estate brochure. Neighbors sleep behind closed curtains, believing they understand the families next door. Nobody hears the quiet fracture inside the two-story home at 2825 Saratoga Trail, where 34-year-old Shanann Watts steps through the doorway after a business trip to Arizona. She is exhausted, yet relieved, thinking only of hugging her daughters Bella and Celeste and curling into bed beside her husband, Chris. She does not know this will be her last sunrise. Shanann has lived much of her life online. On Facebook, she shares candid videos about parenting, lupus flare-ups, and the miracle of a surprise third pregnancy. Women across the country tune in for her honesty and optimism, admiring the way she calls Chris her everything. Those clips now feel painfully intimate, the family dancing in the kitchen, Chris cradling Shanann's growing belly, Bella singing, "Daddy, you are my hero." From the outside, the Wattses appear prosperous, but beneath the upbeat thumbnails sit mounting debts, restless doubts, and a marriage sliding into silence. Chris Watts, 33, is soft-spoken, mechanically minded, and by many accounts a devoted father. He greets neighbors with a quick smile, mows the lawn on schedule, and works at an oil field operated by Anadarko Petroleum. Yet by midsummer, he feels trapped in routine and inflamed by a secret affair with a co-worker named Nicole Kessinger. The new relationship feels weightless compared with mortgage statements and late-night arguments at home. As July becomes August, he imagines two futures, one with Nicole and one with his family. In his darkest thought, only one path remains. If the contrast between social media sparkle and private strain strikes you, tell us in the comments. Your insights help others see warning signs. At 1:48 a.m., Shanann's friend Nicole Atkinson drops her off, waits for the porch light to blink, and drives away. Inside, Chris lies awake, rehearsing a speech about separation. He tells investigators later that Shanann accused him of cheating and threatened to take the girls. In the dim bedroom, he straddles her and presses his hands to her neck. Bella, 4, shuffles down the hallway and whispers, "Is Mommy okay?" Chris wraps Shanann in a sheet and carries her limp body past the child who still trusts him. Before sunrise, Chris loads Shanann, Bella, and 3-year-old Celeste into his work truck. The girls sit beside their mother's shrouded form, asking questions he does not answer. Miles away, at an isolated Anadarko well site, he smothers Celeste with a blue blanket. Then Bella, who fights back and begs, "Daddy, no!" He lowers their small bodies through 8-inch hatches into separate crude oil tanks and buries Shanann and unborn son Nico in a shallow grave. The physical labor is fast, the moral damage is permanent. Hearing Bella's final plea is painful, yet sharing your reaction below keeps her memory alive and underlines why vigilance matters. Back in Frederick, Nicole grows worried when Shanann misses a prenatal appointment. By 1:40 p.m., she calls police. Officers find Shanann's purse, phone, and wedding ring inside the house, but no family. Chris arrives, outwardly cooperative, offering security cam footage and casual small talk. When a neighbor later shows officers his surveillance video, Chris fidgets and folds his arms. The neighbor remarks after he leaves, "He ain't acting right." The next morning, local news cameras roll as Chris stands on his porch, hands stuffed in pockets, begging for his family's return. "Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, come back," he says. The words flat, eyes vacant. Viewers notice the absence of tears. Social media, once the backdrop of the family's happiness, now hosts live-stream suspicion and amateur sleuth analysis. Did Chris's televised appeal feel genuine to you, or did something seem off? Add your perspective in the comments to guide the discussion. On August 15th, investigators administer a polygraph test at the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. Before starting, the examiner tells Chris, This policy protects innocent people. He fails. Confronted with the results, he asks for his father and, between sobs, confesses to killing Shanann after allegedly seeing her kill the girls. Detectives doubt the story, but secure an arrest. That night, the man once labeled "My Rock" in Shanann's videos sleeps in Weld County Jail. By dawn on August 16th, a drone hovers over the well site, catching a fresh earth mound. Searchers locate Shanann's grave and unscrew the tank hatches to reveal crude-soaked pajamas. Coroners must drain thousands of gallons of oil before retrieving the children. The scene destroys every last doubt. This was no spontaneous act, but a planned erasure of an entire family. Learning how carefully the disposal was planned can be overwhelming. Pause, breathe, then share your thoughts below. Community reflection helps us heal. Formal charges arrive August 21st. 5 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of unlawful termination of a pregnancy, and 3 counts of tampering with a deceased body. District Attorney Michael Rourke later says the evidence shows a calculated and cruel conclusion to a hidden double life. While pundits debate motive, older women who followed Shanann's streams grapple with betrayal. Their trusted example of resilience was targeted by the very partner she praised. On November 6, Chris pleads guilty to all counts after Shanann's parents plead for prosecutors to drop the death penalty. At sentencing, Judge Marcelo Kopkow labels the murders the most inhumane and vicious crime I have handled. Chris receives 5 life sentences without parole, plus 84 additional years. Survivors clutch tissue boxes while a slideshow of Bella and Cece beams across the courtroom, underscoring what was lost. If the family's strength in court moved you, write a note of support or solidarity below. Your compassion sustains others facing silent abuse. Transferred to Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin, Chris spends 23 hours a day in a cell, scrubbing floors as a custodian and exchanging letters with strangers who romanticize killers. He keeps photos of Shanann and the girls taped to his Bible, claiming he seeks forgiveness. Experts on family annihilators argue that narcissism, not remorse, drives his newfound piety. Documentaries, podcasts, and made-for-TV movies proliferate. American Murder, The Family Next Door, debuts on Netflix, stitching together body cam footage and social media posts into a real-time horror film. Viewers rewind Shanann's final doorbell entry, aching to warn her of what waits inside. The case ignites debates about domestic violence, parasocial relationships, and the pressure to curate perfection online. For women 50 and older, many of whom balanced careers, caregiving, and marriage through cultural shifts, the Watts story underscores that abuse transcends age and status. It urges vigilance, check on friends who suddenly withdraw, question partners who isolate, and trust intuition when something feels wrong. The tragedy also spotlights the danger of ignoring debt, chronic stress, and untreated resentment. Which warning signs resonate with your life experience? Share a story or suggestion below so that another viewer may recognize trouble sooner. Shanann once said, "I believe people are placed in our life for a reason." Her final lesson may be the power of collective vigilance and empathy. By remembering her joy alongside her pain, we honor not only a lost family, but every survivor still waiting to be heard. In the following parts, we will unravel the investigation, interrogations, and psychological profiles in even greater depth, ensuring that no detail is forgotten. Money weighed on the Wattses like an invisible anvil. In 2015, they filed for bankruptcy, listing nearly $500,000 in liabilities. Mortgage payments swallowed most of Chris's paycheck, while Shanann tried to bridge gaps with commissions from a sales job that demanded constant travel and relentless positivity online. Friends remembered her returning from trips bone-tired, yet still live-streaming product testimonials because bonuses hinged on engagement. Chris, less outgoing, resented the staged cheer. Each carefully filtered post felt to him like another bill he could not pay, another reminder that their smiles were financed on credit. By June 2018, the financial strain intersected with temptation. Nicole Kessinger, a geologist in Anadarko's environmental team, admired Chris's quiet diligence. When he mentioned separating from his wife, she believed him and ignored the wedding ring tan line on his finger. Phone records later reveal over 1,000 text messages in 5 weeks, secret dinners, and Google searches for how to delete phone data and marrying your soulmate. To Nicole, Chris painted a picture of impending freedom. To Shanann, he sent detached one-word replies. That July, Shanann took the girls to North Carolina for vacation, hoping family time might reset the marriage. Chris stayed behind for the first 5 weeks, claiming overtime, but he spent many evenings at Nicole's apartment watching documentaries about the end of the world. When he finally joined the trip, relatives noticed he seemed thinner, distant, and unusually obsessed with fitness. Shanann texted a friend, "Something is wrong with Chris. He doesn't touch me anymore." The words now read like a siren nobody heard in time. On August 9th, the night before leaving for Arizona, Shanann wrote Chris a handwritten letter. She thanked him for the best talk yet and praised his patience with the girls. Whether Chris ever read those words remains unclear. Investigators later found the note still folded in her suitcase. Its final line said, "I am proud of you." Those 5 words echo through every documentary, a poignant reminder of love offered to the man who would end her life 3 days later. Body cam footage from Officer Scott Coonrod's welfare check captures subtle cues now dissected frame by frame. Chris, wearing gym shorts and a faded tee, invites police inside. He paces, avoids eye contact, and nervously flips his wedding ring. When Coonrod asks for Shanann's shoe size to list in the missing person alert, Chris stammers. In the background, a dog barks, dishes sit damp in the rack, and the baby monitor cycles through an empty nursery. Despite the relative calm, viewers later describe a suffocating tension in the air. Autopsy reports confirm manual strangulation for Shanann and smothering for the children. Oil in Bella's lungs indicates she was alive when placed in the tank, strengthening murder charges. Toxicology screens show therapeutic levels of medications, no drugs that could explain sudden violence. The unborn fetus, Nico, is recorded as a homicide victim under Colorado law, a rare but crucial detail that adds 48 years to Chris's sentence. Forensic psychologist Dr. Lenore Walker, famed for defining the battered woman syndrome, observes that family annihilators often exhibit covert narcissism. They crave admiration, yet dread exposure, choosing murder over divorce to maintain control. Chris's behavior aligns with the anomic subtype, a man who measures worth by image and eliminates family when that image collapses. Such profiles warn that outward calm can mask lethal entitlement. Social media amplified both the fantasy and the fallout. In the weeks after the murders, millions scrolled through Shanann's archived videos, hunting for foreshadowing. Some blamed her perceived perfectionism, others blamed Chris's vanity. The truth is simpler and darker. Abusers alone own their violence. No filtered sunset or product pitch can cause murder, but curated joy can hide danger from outsiders who would otherwise intervene. In Part 2, we will follow the detectives inside the interrogation room, listen to audio clips of shifting alibis, and explore the pivotal role of polygraph psychology. Stay with us as we trace the digital footprints that unraveled Chris's lies minute by minute. September 1st, pews overflow at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Pinehurst, North Carolina. White roses surround 3 caskets, 2 small, 1 adult, each topped with unicorn plushies. Frank Ruzicek, Shanann's father, cannot speak without shaking. A priest reads his letter aloud. "You are nothing but pure love." Chris's name is never uttered. Congregants, many mothers and grandmothers, reach for each other's hands, realizing that family safety sometimes lies beyond their control. 1 year later, Judge Todd Taylor awards the Ruzicek family $6 million in a wrongful death settlement. The judgment ensures Chris cannot profit from interviews or movie deals, though the family is unlikely to receive a cent. What matters is moral closure, a public record stating that Shanann and the children were victims, not characters in Chris's shifting excuses. For viewers, the ruling is a reminder that justice extends beyond prison bars into reputational and financial domains. Women over 50 often occupy the role of family historian and emotional anchor. Many watched Shanann to learn new health tips or simply to feel connected, while adult children pursued their own lives. The betrayal they witnessed in this case resonates deeply. If a smiling husband on camera can harbor lethal intent, how can anyone trust? The answer may lie in communal vigilance, open dialogue about financial stress, and early counseling, rather than silent endurance. Have you supported a friend through controlling or abusive behavior? Comment below with strategies that truly helped so others can act sooner. The Watts tragedy does not end with a sentence or a settlement. Its ripple spreads through every household that questions appearances and every viewer who re-examines their own relationships. By approaching this story together, sharing fears and insights, we transform voyeurism into vigilance. Let us remember Bella's giggles, Cece's boundless energy, Shanann's unfiltered hope, and little Nico, whose heart never beat outside the womb. Their lives deserve more than headlines. They deserve lasting lessons. Digital forensics later reveal that at 4 a.m. on the morning of the murders, Chris Googled, "Can cops trace text messages?" and "How long do phone records stay?" Investigators recovered deleted Fitbit data, neighbor video, and truck GPS pings that place him at the well site for 45 minutes. Technology, often blamed for eroding privacy, instead became Shanann's final witness in court. Before we close this chapter, consider the ordinary setting that framed extraordinary cruelty: a cul-de-sac, a porch light, a neighbor's dog. Part of the enduring fascination with this case is that it unfolded in plain sight, reminding us that the line between dream and nightmare can be as thin as a bedroom wall. Recognizing that truth is the first step toward preventing the next tragedy.